So let's just start by wiggling our toes, rocking back and forth, just really feeling into those feet, getting grounded, feeling our mountain, feeling that energy moving up our mountain, our big, solid mountain base here. If I came over to you and gave you a little nudge, you wouldn't go anywhere. You're so grounded in your mountain. And then the top of our mountain is going to feel like a flower reaching towards the sun. Let that head of the flower find the sun, maybe looking up a little bit and moving side to side, just relaxing that neck, letting those shoulders and spine get all flowy as we keep from our hips down, grounded. And then imagine we have a big dinosaur tail, just really bringing that tailbone, pulling it down towards the earth as we feel the front of our body lifting up towards the sun. Tuck your chin in just a little bit to make the back of your neck a little softer and longer. And find some breaths in this mountain. See if you can kind of engage different parts of your abdomen. So we have our upper abdomen keeping us nice and tall. Let's see if we can release in the lower abdomen. What muscles can we release to still keep our tall, strong mountain? A few more breaths, bringing it even more fully into the bottom of our lungs. Open your eyes if you let them go closed there for a minute, and let's just release our mountain, making some big shoulder circles, breathing in, breathing out, linking that breath with the movement all throughout our practice today. And as we forget and get caught up in the technical parts of the move, just keep bringing that awareness back to our breath as well. So we're kind of building layers in our poses. Hands on our shoulders now, and our elbows are going to come in, and we're going to breathe in as we look up, as our shoulders move back, and then exhale as our elbows go down, chin goes down. Breathing in, everything moves up. Breathing out, chin to chest, elbows down. One more time. And then we're going to 3 the other way. Either breathing in and out through our nose, or sometimes I like to do just long exhales through my mouth just to relax my jaw. It's where I like to hold my tension. And then swinging the arms. Anyway, in and out, up and down, finding the breath. And like a dishwasher, washing machine, back and forth. And then let our kind of toes follow. See if you can see my toes. I'm kind of pointing out as I move. No right or wrong here. Faster or slower, just link that breath. If you move faster, breathe faster. And then we're going to find our shoulder as we tap. Shoulder in the front. And we're going to find our kidneys in the back. So just kind of a little tap, if you can, just right above the hips, kidneys and adrenals, saying hello, good morning. And just letting our gaze looking in front of us, soft gaze. Good, and then stopping the feet, keep going on the hands. And we're gonna slowly move the hands to another kind of sequence. It's kind of like drawing a big sideways 8 in front of us. An infinity sign, a race car track. And I have my hands together, but they can be apart. You can kind of go back and forth and see what feels good. Maybe let your hips and feet start moving with this pose. Draw your sideways 8s down low, up high on the ceiling. And then we're gonna really give the brain a challenge, and we're gonna start drawing it the other way. So start going the other way on the race car track. Starting slow. And then we'll go bigger and draw them everywhere. Create your own shapes if you want. This is just your own practice. I'll give you little inspirations, and then you take it from there with what your body's asking. Good, and coming back to center. And we're just gonna kind of use that body technology. We're first gonna start tapping under our collarbone, our brain button here, signaling oxygen and blood move up to our brain. Big breath in and out. Tap our thymus. Oh, I just realized I have schmutz on my shirt. My perfect yoga class. Tap, 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 like a gorilla. And then we're gonna tap, actually cross your hands and tap under our armpits here, our spleen meridian, our inner mom. And then tapping down our legs on the outside, tapping up on the inside of our legs. One more time, tapping down and up. Find that perfect amount of tapping pressure. Down one more time and back up. Now we're going to give ourselves kind of like a little hug. We're going to reach over to one side, press in with our hands, and just kind of pull that skin to the other side. Let's do that 2 more times. Breathe in, breathe out. And 3 times on the other side. Hello, liver. We see you. We're here for you. And hands on our heart. Take a few breaths. Hello, heart. And release the hands down. Finding our mountain again. Your feet can be together or hip width apart. We're going to breathe in, interlace our fingers. We're just going to do a palm tree. I have my fingers kind of one pointed up there, but any way you want your hands up here, interlaced and connected. And then exhale to one side. Inhale up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale up. If you're moving faster, just breathe faster. And finish going to the second time on both sides. Coming back down. I'm going to move sideways. I'm going to interlace my hands behind my back. Just really pull those shoulders back. And then make those arms move down a little bit. Lift my chin up and stretch out that neck, breathing in. Exhaling, chin to chest. I'm going to grab my left, do I know my right from my left? My left wrist, I'm going to pull down on that, and then I'm going to stretch my neck to the right. Just keep that breath going. Reach for the other wrist, pull that wrist down, and the neck goes the opposite direction to the left. And I'm putting my feet, I'm doing interlacing again. Feet a little wider because we're going to hinge forward. Kind of like the triangle width that you'd have your feet on a triangle. Hinge at the hip halfway down. Take a breath in. Lengthen that spine. Exhale, just let your head fall forward. Keep that mountain, keep the energy moving up your legs, strong legs. And if it feels good to move those hands away from your back, you can get that stretch here and go down a little further. Find whatever pose feels good to you right now to stretch the back of the legs, stretch the arms. Keep breathing. Hands come back to the back, release, put your hands on your hips. Push through the feet as we inhale up. Nice. For our triangle, let's start by doing our right foot out, parallel to the side of our mat. Imagine if you drew a line, it would go through the middle of your back foot. That back foot is at an angle, kind of like a 45-degree angle here. Hips square to the side of our back mat. Breathe in. And then the first thing we're going to do is just going to push our hips to that back foot, our left foot. Keep feeling that energy moving up your legs. Notice if you're hyperextending your knees and just be aware of taking care of your knees. Breathe in, lengthen the spine. Breathe out, push into that right hip a little bit more. We're seeing how open we can keep between our hips and our ribs here. Like we're in a very narrow hallway. And if you can stay right there on the pose, or you can slide down a hand maybe to your ankle or below your knee and feel kind of like we're twisting, adding a little twist to the pose. Wiggle the toes, see if we're clenching our toes. Keep imagining energy running up the legs. And now let's bring our hand up. I'm doing spread fingers, letting energy move up the legs and then out that top hand. And if your knees are needing some help, you can let them both be slightly bent. And we're just going to do a few circles here. So exhale, bring the hand down in front of you. Inhale, breath moving up your legs and out your fingertips. 2 more times. Come up when your body says that's enough. Hand stays up when you get done with that last circle, and on your next inhale, we're going to push through our feet and reach up and out, just kind of pushing out with our hands. Hands on the hips, make a few circles. Move your feet in, give them a little, give those ankles a little break before we do the other side. Can't see my face. The headless yoga teacher. All right, turn out the left foot now. We'll do the triangle on the other side. Find that mountain even with our legs spread wide. Hands on the hips, heart open. As we exhale, we'll push the hips to the right. Seeing if we can take open instead of just crunching and folding. Each inhale we lengthen, and each exhale will go a little deeper. Just move through that same segment on your own if you remember it, or you can follow me. Twisting, heart open in that narrow hallway. We tend to maybe want to let our back hip go out, so keep that in line. Each side is going to feel different, so listen to our body. Exhale, hands coming down. Inhale up. Unclench the toes, unclench the jaw. We have the softness and the strength going at the same time. And after you finish the sequence, we're going to inhale and come up. Take your time. Grab a drink if you have a water or want to just take a little break. Start marching. We're going to be like a puppet here. First, we're going to do same leg, same arm. Puppets. This is a great way to teach kids to cross crawl. Sometimes it's not as easy as you think it is. And then we're going to switch and start doing opposite hand and knee, really slow like a puppet. Cross crawl, it just keeps the energy in our body crisscrosses from side to side. So doing the cross crawl throughout the day is a great way just to keep our energy up and balanced. All right, when you're ready, start going a little faster. Maybe start tapping down to the knee. Let your cross crawl be whatever you want. If you want to start doing the fast cross crawl with the hop, do the hop wherever you're at today. What does your cross crawl want to do? Does it want to really twist and get your back into it? This is my before dinner. I can do it. I do a few cross crawls. And then make our way to slowing them down again. Maybe doing a few figure eights again. Let's just kind of clean out our house around us like we're dusting. Up high, down low. Getting the cobwebs out. And then we're going to put our hands right on our pubic bone here, the bone at the bottom of your, below your navel. And as we breathe in, we're going to press in with our fingers and pull up like we're zipping up a zipper. And at the top, we're just going to let it go like a big volcano explosion. Let's do that again. Zipping up. And what do we want to send out to the world? We want to send out sparkles. You can ask the kids. We're going to gather whatever we're gathering. What do we want to throw out this time to the world? Maybe some rainbows. One more time. Big volcano blast. And the zip up just kind of locks in. It's kind of like an aura. We build up our positive energy and it kind of creates like this little bubble. Kind of, at least that's what the book said, and it feels like it does. It feels like it strengthens. I want to teach everybody, I know it's a Saturday morning, but I wanted to teach everybody the moon salutation, which most people don't know that one. And it's just a little different than the sun salutation, and it's a fun one to teach students after they've learned the sun salutation. So you'll come to the front of your mat. I like it because it has the chair pose in it. And anytime we can be strengthening our back body, it's kind of helping counteract all the sitting that we're doing throughout the day. So find your mountain. Maybe make a dedication to somebody for your moon salutation. On the next inhale, arms come up. And then we do a big swan dive forward. And as we come up, we're going to sit back into our chair. We can do hands to our heart or hands above us. Hold that inhale as long as feels comfortable. And then a big exhale out, folding forward, head hanging. Knees can be soft here. We're going to take a step back with our right foot and put it down. And do an inhale as we kind of open our heart before we step back into downward dog. Let's just hang out in downward dog a few breaths since we haven't done one yet. This first flow through, we'll just do nice and slow. Walk your dog, see what the dog wants to do. Stretch those arms, stretch the hamstrings. And then we'll come down to tabletop and inhale as we look up, belly dropping, shoulders away from our ears. Then we're going to push back to child's pose with our hands still where they're at. Let's take a few breaths here. And the next pose is going to be a big full moon. So we're going to press in through our shins and lift up. Our hips are going to move out. And whatever your moon is, it can be here or it can be a big arch back. Hold that top of the inhale. And when you're ready, nice long breath out, back to child's pose. Inhale, coming up to tabletop. We're making our way out of the salutation. Curl the toes, downward dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Maybe bend both knees and stretch those shoulders a little bit more. Shake your head yes and no, release the jaw. Stepping forward with our right foot on the next inhale. Inhale, and then step forward. The other foot as we exhale, fold. Grounding in through the feet. So I kind of like to do it with my feet closer together, almost zipped up. And then I sit back into my chair as on the next inhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And exhale. Ground through the feet as we come back up, reverse swan dive. And release hands to the heart. And let's move through that again. The whole sequence, inhaling up. Exhale, big swan dive, hinge at the hips. Sit back into our chair. Let's stay here a few more breaths on this next. Few breaths here. Our toes can come up even a little bit as we're leaning back as far as we think we can. Keeping our mind calm as our body might start to shake. And exhale, release. Stepping back with our left foot on the second salutation. Inhaling. You can get a nice big stretch here if you want. Exhaling, downward dog. Inhaling, knees down, tabletop. Open that heart before we reach back and contract into the child's pose. And when you're ready for a big inhale into the full moon, reach up, hips pushing out as we lean back. And then back to child's pose. Inhaling up to table. You might just be a little behind me as I give the directions. Curl the toes, downward dog. Stepping forward with our left foot, inhaling. Dropping that knee for a moment as we open our heart, and then folding again as we step forward. Exhaling it all out before we sit back into that chair. One breath, chair, hold the inhale, exhale, fold. Push to the feet, rising up. Hands to the heart. Give everybody a minute to come back. And we're going to do two more. And I'm going to move through each pose just with one breath so you can get the rhythm. But if you're not right exactly with me, no worries. On your next inhale, arms coming up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Step back with your right foot. Step back into downward dog. Exhale it all out. Knees down for an inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, full moon. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, downward dog. Step forward with your right foot. Exhale, step forward in the left foot, fold. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, pushing through the feet, looking up, and then hands to heart. Moving through the heart, inhaling again. Folding for our last time. Chair, inhale. Neck nice and long. Exhale, fold. Step back, left foot. Inhale, exhale, downward dog. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, full moon. Exhale, child's pose. What comes next? Tabletop. What comes next? Downward dog. Step forward, left foot. Exhale, step forward, right foot. Chair, last chair. Fold. Inhale all the way up. Hands to the heart. Release our hands. Find your mountain. And let's just spend a minute just noticing how our body feels different than when we first started our practice. Where do you feel your heartbeat? Can you feel it all the way down into your fingertips? Let's rub our hands. Now let's just put them about an inch away from our ears. Feel the vibration of our hands, the warmth. Imagine that energy streaming between your hands, from palm to palm, finger to finger, moving through your brain. Hands on our hearts, crossing our hands. Releasing down. We're going to move to the floor, but we're not going to just move to the floor. We're going to express our creativity as we move to the floor. So maybe what you want to go down like a vortex. Maybe you want to do a fancy cross and sit. Decide how you want to move down to the floor. Maybe get a drink on your way down. And we'll go for about 10 more minutes here because we want to get we always want to have that reclined Shavasana with our sequence just so our body can fully process and integrate all the different healing medicine we've given it and care that we've given it. Just sitting in this new position for a minute, following our breath in and out with our awareness. Noticing different sounds around us. Feeling our mountain in this new position. Noting where the strength is and where you have softness, finding that powerful balance between strength and softness, between masculine and feminine. Opening your eyes if you chose to close them. Putting our feet out in front of us, kind of in that sit-up position, feet hip width apart. And we're going to do a little on our core before we do our last pose, Shavasana. So we're just going to go back and forth. It's kind of a Pilates crossover here. Go back as far as you can. And then an exhale as we come up, reaching forward in front of us. And keep doing that just at your own pace, nice and slow if you can. The slower the better. Inhaling back and exhaling up. Neck in line with the spine. Eyes and jaw soft. On the next one going back, it's going to be a little different. We're going to get our obliques a little bit. So we're going to drop our left hand as we go back and reach behind us and go back. As we exhale, bring that up. And then the right hand, you can look down to the right hand. Okay, this is where I love visualizations. And sometimes what I do is I visualize a goddess at the top of the mountain bestowing my gifts on everyone below. Isn't that a nice visual? Exhale or inhale, bestow your gifts to the other side. Exhale back up. One more time each side. And for the last one going down, we're going to go down all the way as slow as we can, one vertebrae at a time. Chin comes to chest to help us. And release down to the ground. I'm going to sit up though. Comfy on the ground for about 3 to 5 minutes. Let those feet splay to the side. Palms up, hands splay to the side. If you were in class with students, you could go around and do spaghetti tests by lifting a leg and kind of having them have it be heavy and moving it back and forth and then gently letting it go down, just to help the students. Sometimes they notice, oh, I thought I was relaxed, but I'm still holding some tension. Noticing the sounds around us again. Noticing our belly rising and falling on each breath. Each exhale, imagine yourself getting heavier and heavier. Letting yourself be more and more supported by the floor below you. So heavy that you might even visualize yourself sinking into the floor a few inches. Where do you feel heaviness in your body? Scan through your body. Feeling the hips be heavy, the legs be heavy, the shoulder and head heavy. And now we're going to use our imagination to feel our body feeling lighter. Imagine you are slowly disappearing in weight, so light that you're hovering maybe an inch or so off the floor. Light as a feather. The breeze coming by and just kind of moving you a little bit side to side. Releasing our lightness and just finding that balance. Lying on the floor, a balance between light and heavy. Scanning our body one more time, just noticing where our skin and clothes fabric are touching the floor and where there's space between us and the floor. Feeling that space wherever we're not touching the floor, feeling that space around us, the air touching our skin, on our front body, on our arms, face. It might start to feel blurred between where your physical body is and where the space is. Bringing our awareness back to the sounds around us. Taking our arms off the floor and just crossing them over our body, reaching towards our shoulder blades and squeezing and smiling, giving ourselves a hug. Thanking yourself for taking this special time out of your day, just dedicated to you and your health and well-being. Releasing those arms, stretching them over our heads as we point and stretch our legs as well. Bending up the knees. Taking a breath here before we roll to one side and take a few breaths just kind of in the fetal position, all cozy in our bed. Savoring this feeling that we have right now. Pushing ourselves up with our arms, coming back to a sit. A few more breaths together. Sending love to everybody who's joining us. One last breath in all together. And hands to our hearts.